Okay, I'm in the right place. Sorry about that, everybody. But yeah, I wanted to check whether it was meant to be in the group or where it's meant to be. Here we are. I'm in the group now. The reason why I wanted it to be in the group, what they're showing me, my guides, is that, you know, we're going to be talking about things, right? And the group is a safe space, so that's why I've moved into the group. And there was people joining the live, and I was like, I don't recognise these people. These people aren't in the group. I know it's going to go onto YouTube and other people can see it. But you know, I put a protection bubble around you all in the group. So there we go. Anyway, how are you all? Let's just see who's here. So Melissa's back for round 2. Morning, Deborah. Sarah, you're watching. Okay, you're here. Cara's here. Charlie, morning, lovely. Okay, so we are working on, I'll just see, more people will probably be joining as we go on. And the great thing is it does get recorded and it goes onto YouTube as well. So everybody gets a bit of love. Yeah, lots going on. Lots going on. My phone's going to the thing. You're still tired. How are you? I'm fine. I'm really, really good. I feel really, really good. I've had a really, really busy week, which has been fantastic. And I'm literally just, my phone keeps, I'm charging it. And let me do this. I feel like I need to do this. Okay, back again. Yes, it needs to be in the group. Okay. Because that's the whole point. You're going to stay there and behave. You're going to stay there and behave. As Andrew shouting at Hamish. I don't know if you can hear that. Oh. Okay, so we're here. Oh, Melissa's in the car. All right, Melissa, don't be driving. Please don't be driving while you're listening to any meditations. Morning, Kylie. How are you? Yes, I'm in the right place now. You know, living life on the edge. Living life on the edge. Okay, so today we are working with poverty to prosperity. So, morning, Bernadette. You know, I just like to mix it up. Make sure that you're on your toes. You're concentrating. Hashtag story of Claire's life. I'm not bad with technical stuff, but sometimes I can go a little bit absent without leave. I'm so grateful that I work free today. Typically Wednesdays are your working days. Okay. Oh dear, I need to just do a big stretch. Sorry, I have just done a couple of hours in Unleashing Prosperity. If you didn't know what Unleashing Prosperity is, it was my flagship program for money and abundance. So we've been working. I've run that program for 14 months. I've done 3 levels, 1, 2, and 3. It will come out, and that you can buy it as a self-healing program. But yes, I'm moving on to something else. Something else is coming, and it's going to mix. Like, just wait for it. I'm not even going to talk about it now. Not yet. They're saying to me, no, not yet. Don't say it yet. Don't say it yet. But something new is coming. To support you around finances, money, abundance, business, etc. So that is going to be new and fun, and it will start in November. So I just need to take a breath. So today we are working through money and abundance. It's interesting, isn't it? The last few weeks it's been self-worth, deservability was last week. Self-sabotaging patterns were the week before. Now, if you want to watch any of these healings, I know some of you are new into the group. If you want to watch these healings, please go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. and I'll drop the link in after this so you can subscribe. But all the healings that I do complimentary in this group go up onto my YouTube channel, so you can go and watch them at any time. This is my way of giving back to this community. So we'll just go for about 45 minutes today. I need to make sure that I finish at 10 because I've got clients this afternoon, mid-morning on to the rest of the day. But what I want to concentrate is this vow of poverty. So a vow of poverty is a really interesting one. So I don't know how in depth you are aware of past lives, but what we will be doing is we'll be working on a past life today. And how we find and access that information is through the Akashic Records. So if nobody knows what the Akashic Records is, I'll just give you a quick overview of what the Akashic Records are. The Akashic Records are a massive energetic library database, like Google, for all the lifetimes that you've ever lived. So some people call it the Book of Life or your Book of Soul. That is what the Akashic Records are. Everything has an Akashic Record. You have an Akashic Record. I have an Akashic Record. My home has an Akashic Record. There is an energetic library of all the information within these Akashic Records. It is absolutely vast. It's massive. And the one piece of advice, if you're going to be working in the Akashic Records, is you need to set an intention, because otherwise you are like a kid in a candy store. You can spend hours in that Akashic realm just looking at different things, and it will, every question that you ask within the Akashic Records, it will take you somewhere, or it will bring the information, We have Akashic guides, so like your library assistant. When you go to the library, the assistant comes in and says, yeah, what book are you looking for? Right, they go off and they get that relevant information for you. So there's a couple of things with working with the Akashic Records, is that you make sure you're going into your Akashic Record, and I will do that today. We'll make sure that you are going in yours. And the way that you access your Akashic Records is through your full name now, and if it was a different name at birth, your place of birth, your date of birth. So that's how you know that you are in your record room. Because the ego is a funny one. The ego will try and talk you out that you're not in the right place, and the information that you're getting from your record room, your library, is not right. So the ego likes to be a bit of a pickle. So we clear that one up by making sure that we are accessing your records by those 4 pieces of information. The other thing is, please make sure you shut your Akashic Records down afterwards. That's the 2 caveats. You're in the right room and you close it down. You'll have Akashic guides in there to help assist you with everything, and everyone can access their Akashic Records, okay? That is an old paradigm and a belief that you have to be of a high vibration to access the Akashic Records. As the planet is evolving and we're moving into being more conscious, it is actually easier to go in and do your Akashic Record work. But, caveat here, there are different types of spiritually evolved people that can read different things within records or hit the halls of Amenti and stuff like that. That's a different, like, Akashic realm that has come in from about 2012. And Tim, I think his name's Tim Wilde, and Diana Cooper talk a lot around the halls of Amenti, and you can Google the halls of Amenti. So it's like more, I see it more as temple work. So depending on your karmic beliefs, your karmic patterns, I've been with healers, and they're like, I can't access the Akashic Records, and it's like, no, we just need to change a few beliefs and a few karmic patterns for that to be able to happen. What if you've changed your name? So you need to go through your birth name, your name at birth, even if you've changed your name. So say, for instance, you've changed your name now, you actually do need to access it through your original birth name, because that's what was stamped on your Akashic Records when you were born. So, like my birth name is Claire Channel, right? But my name now is Claire Gorman, because that's my married name. So I use the 2 names. So it's Claire Gorman, and my middle names, your middle names as well. So it's Claire, blah, 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 Gorman. Born as Claire, blah, blah, channel. So, and then I give my date of birth and my place of birth. So it's just got all that relevant information. It's a bit like your astrology, really. You don't need your time of birth. You can put your time of birth if you want to. Depends how you want to. But it might be that, say for instance, all right, your name's Kylie, but say for instance, it might have been Catherine, all right, but you're known as Kylie, but that's what you're known as now. But you do put your birth name in, yes. So that's what the Akashic Records are. So the Akashic Records are great because what we do is we find out all the patterns and the programs. And today we're going to be looking at a vow of poverty. And a lot of people have taken vows of poverty over many lifetimes. So we're going to pull up the lifetime where you took this vow of poverty that is causing you pain, but it's linked to deception and betrayal. Okay, so just think out loud. You don't need to put anything in the chat, but have you been deceived or betrayed in regards to poverty, in regards to money? Because poverty is money, right? Abundance. So just think around that. I'm just going to pull up my notes as well on this. So money's an interesting one. A lot of people come to me to work on money, but actually money's not always the issue. Money's the magnifier of what's actually been hidden. And I actually quite like getting into all the past life stuff. That's one of my things that I really, really love. And I easily see past lives. It's one of my gifts and one of my talents. And I actually like working through karma as well. I find that really, really interesting. And I like working through vows. So we're going to work on vow of poverty, but there's other vows as well. There's vows of celibacy, there's vows of loneliness, there's vows of silence, there's vows of obedience, there's vows of sacrifice. There's lots of different vows. But the main one that's really, really juicy is a vow of poverty. And a lot of it comes from religious programming in past lives. And I always remember when I first worked on this vow of poverty for a client. It was right on the early days of my spiritual business. This client came to me and she said, I'm always hitting this like upper limit in my business. I am never getting over the 6 figures, right? And I said to her, okay, why is it important for you to hit over these 6 figures? And she said, because it's going to help me have financial freedom, because my husband's not well and I need to be the main breadwinner. But there's just something on this wall where I just keep, it doesn't matter how hard I work, it's just never happening. And all of this self-sabotaging stuff was coming up for her. So I was like, okay, right. So I tuned in and I said, right, what is it that I need to look at to help this woman, because it's really important. So I was shown this, it flashed up, it was a past life where she was a monk in a monastery where she took a vow of poverty, that everything she earned, she had to hand it over, right? And she was open to this. She knew me really well. So she came because she was intrigued with what I did. And I said, this is what we need to clear. This is what I'm saying. It's this past life, blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. And she sort of looked at me and she was like, okay, all right. So I cleared this past life, and it was a vow of poverty that I needed to release for her. So we cleared this vow of poverty, cleared out the old, put in the new. There we go. And I saw her a few months later and I said to her, how's it going? How have you been? And she said, oh, it's been really interesting. She said, we sold the investment property. And I said, oh, that's really, really good. I said, oh, I said, was it easy? She said, yeah. She said, you know, blah, blah, blah. She said, you know, what was interesting? She said, we actually got 100 grand more than we thought we were getting at auction. And I looked at her and I said, that's interesting. She said, what? I said, well, what did we work on? I said, but we set the intention that it would be done with ease and grace. I said, you didn't actually even necessarily have to work for the money. It was just like there. And she went, oh. And her face went white and she was like, oh my God, literally. So we had a complete giggle around that. So just be open to, after the vow has been released, just be open, just be aware of what shifts and changes happen over your life by releasing this vow. Are you all excited? Okay, Julia, you're interested in that. Hi, Marcella, how are you? Shani's here again. There you are. I popped up into your mind. Yeah, we literally cleared that belief today. The lie of not having money is more spiritual. Yeah, that's absolutely right. It's not spiritual to receive money. That's where a lot of spiritual teachers will struggle charging their worth, or they'll do swaps, they'll do bartering, because that's how it used to be in the olden days for us. Because one of the persecutions of the witch wound is that you were hounded if you had money. You flagged up. And this is the program that you see with a lot of spiritual people, is that they'll make a massive amount of money and they'll be doing really well, and then they'll lose that, they'll close their business. I actually saw it in someone the other day on Facebook, and she turned around and she said, I've made multi millions in my business. She's like a female entrepreneur, businessy woman. And she said, I've made multiple millions in my business. And she said, now it's time to close it and I'm moving on to something else. And I was like, oh my God, I'd love to get her in a session and clear some of that persecution of a witch wound. Yeah, because you'll hit an upper limit and then you'll decide to lose it. Because back in the day, in the burning times, the three things that flagged up for you being called a witch was ambition, success, and like being the temptress, using your vavavu for ill good. So that was actually the reasons. Hi, Arena. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into your record rooms and clear this vow of poverty. We're going to explore the energetic imprints of the past life. So we're going to find a past life where this deception and betrayal led to a contract held with the vow of poverty. So it might be, for instance, I'll give you a couple of examples. It might be that you've had a past life where you were really successful. And, well, you would have been, right? Of course you would. Where you would have been really successful. And let's talk about deception and betrayal. It might be that someone's come along and deceived you out of all your money. We've all experienced that. They've deceived you out of your money. They've betrayed you. And you've turned around in that lifetime and said, never again. Never again am I going to be blah, 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 blah. Because the pain of being deceived and the pain of deception and betrayal is not worth the money. Boom. In it goes, into the records. It could be that you've had a past life where you have gone into the church or a religious order or a community or a commune, like a travelling circus. It could be that, you know, you might have been a gypsy and been a traveller. It might have been that you were part of a religious army. It could be anything, right? You've joined a community where you had to give up a lot of your wealth and rights to be part of that community. You actually see it with a lot with the Mormons, in all fairness, and things nowadays where you do give a certain amount of your income to that community to help others. All right, so we're going to release the vow through a guided meditation. So don't be driving, make sure that you are with me on this. No machinery, no driving in the meditation. So if you can't listen to this and do the meditation, come back and do it later. And we're going to do an energy healing. So we're going to release the energetic cords and contracts to that vow that's keeping you bound to lack and limitation. We're going to restore. So whenever we clear anything out, we have to put good stuff back into the void. All right? Because otherwise, if you do a healing, I don't know if any of you know this, but if you do a healing and you do a clearing, you need to put something better back in its space. Because otherwise, if it's open and clear, something of the same situation will just come back in. It's what you call the law of vibration, the law of a vibrational match. So if we clear out a vow of poverty, what might pop in is another vow of poverty, or it might be a vow of chastity or another vow. So we clear out and we're going to put in trust and faith. A lot of us are going through trust and faith at the moment. We're learning that as a virtue. So we can cultivate that beautiful sense of peace. And then we're going to embrace your birthright. So we're going to help you step into the awareness of your worthiness and claim your birthright of prosperity. So out with the old, in with the new. How does that sound? So this is good for someone that struggles with financial limitations despite your best efforts. So like my client that I spoke about earlier, where she was a monk in a monastery. Whether you have a deep-seated fear of mistrust around money as well, a sense that a past life experiences are impacting your actual current financial reality today. And we're going to break free of those limiting, that limiting vow. A lot of us are taking vows over our life. You know, vows, oath, contracts, commitments, promises and obligations. They're all sort of under that banner of vows and declarations. In Theta, we call it oaths, vows, contracts, commitments, promises and obligations. In my Akashic training, it's vows and declarations. But we have good vows, good, and we have bad. Good vows is being married, right? So I don't want to change my good vows. I want to keep my good vows, right? But I want to change my bad vows. Vows that are not really serving me in this lifetime. Because as a soul, I might have gone into the monastery and I'm like, yeah, please take that. Cancel, edit, delete. That's not going in now. Because I wanted to be part of that mission back in the day, right? But in this lifetime, I still don't want to be attached to that. Okay. Let's just see. D, let's clear that shit. But on some level, right, I know we giggle about it's not serving me in this lifetime, but in another lifetime it did serve you, but it's outdated. So we need to change that contract. Family mindset of money must have an influence. Absolutely, it does. And that's stuff that I do deep within the Unleashing Prosperity, because your money mindset comes from your soul. So this is soul stuff. What we're clearing today is soul stuff. So it comes from your soul. It comes from your upbringing. So the core of you, your soul, your core, your very being. So that's all in your DNA. It comes from your ancestors. It comes from the collective and your history and collective as well. So your beliefs will change around money depending on who you're hanging out with. So you hear a lot of money mindset coaches saying you are the 5 people that you hang out with. So if you're hanging out with people that there's no money in the world, clients aren't paying for my services, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, right? That's all going in. That's all going in. So if you have people like that around you, you need to switch the story. And I'm not saying you can't get rid of all these people, because that's not necessarily helpful, right? But you just got to be conscious of, it's not going in, it's not going in. That's their belief, that's their belief, that's not my belief, that's not my what I believe in. And then you need to be listening to podcasts or something. You need to be listening to someone that has a high wealth mindset, a high growth mindset, positive, positive, positive. Go through your social media, clear the doom and gloom out. Start watching and subscribing to groups and to people where you're being filled with, you know, the universe has my back, you know, I'm loved and supported. You want all of that, all the good stuff going in. Okay, right, so close your eyes. Let's get in. Let's get this done. And just go with the intention that we're going to find the past life that has this vow of poverty leading to deception and betrayal. And it's going to be fun. So we're setting the intention that it's going to be fun. It's going to be inspiring. Going to bring awareness. And we want to see the patterns. We want to see the patterns from that life playing out in this lifetime. Because that's the important thing, right? What's happened there, how it's affecting you here. Because then you're like, because then when that vow is gone, those patterns will change. That patterning will change. Okay, so close your eyes. Take some deep breaths in. You're going to listen to my voice as your guide. And I want you to state out loud that you now wish to access your Akashic Records of your full name now. So say your full name now. Your full name at birth. Your date of birth. And your place of birth. And you wish to access your Akashic Records with your guides of 100% love, light, accuracy and truth. Thank you. So I want you to imagine that your feet are on the earth. So we're going to ground you before we go in. I want you to imagine that earth energy is coming up through the soles of your feet and all the way to the top of your head. So however you see, sense, feel or know, you are connected to the earth energy field. And I want you to now imagine that there's a beautiful white light, a white thread, a white light coming all the way over the top of your head, all the way down from the top of your head to the top tips of your toes and then into the earth. So you are connected to the earth and you're connected to the higher realms. We're going to place a bubble of white light all around you, and nothing in the white light can harm or hurt you. You're safe. We're going to ask for your ego to leave the room. So however you want to see, sense, feel or know, we're going to ask for your ego to leave the room or go and sit by a chair, on a chair by the door. We're going to call in Archangel Metatron. So he's in charge of the Akashic Records. He's the big boss. And we're also going to work with Master Merlin. So he's coming in for a bit of magic and alchemy. Okay, so I'll work with him as they're actually both my guides. And we're going to call in your angels, guides and masters of 100% love and light to help you on this journey into your Akashic record room. And the intention is to find this vow of poverty that's linked to deception and betrayal. And we want to release this vow. and it's done in the highest and good of all concerned, in the most loving, gentle, easy way for you at this time. And we want to restore trust and faith. So I'm setting the really strong intention, okay, before we go in. So just breathing in and breathing out, listening to my voice. I want you to imagine that there's a purple portal of light just opening up in front of you. And with your permission, I'm going to ask you to step forward into that purple portal of light. I want you to imagine that you're floating through that beautiful portal of light. Till you get to a beautiful golden staircase. And it's a beautiful golden spiral staircase with all lovely filigree. And I want you to step onto that staircase and walk up. And as you get to the top of that staircase, you're going to see a beautiful angel welcoming you. So this is your angel, this is your Akashic Record angel. And it points to the door, and you're just going to cross-check that it says your full name, birth name, date of birth, place of birth. When you realise that it's there, the angel opens the door and you go into your record room. So just go in, and I just want you to take a pause, take a breath. I want you to feel this room. Now this room can change from time to time. It's not always the same room. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But I want you to see, sense, feel, know, listen to the vibration and the energy of this room. Because everybody's got different psychic senses. I want you to immerse yourself into this room and get familiar with this room. And I want you to breathe in lots and lots of light into this room. And it might be that you want to like go and open curtains and windows and let some air in. And it might be that you want to like go around and just move a few ornaments and like have a bit of a tidy, and then feel like you want to organise it a little bit. Because what I'm wanting you to do is, by sort of moving things, letting air in, you're in charge of this room. You're taking ownership. This is your room. So make it yours. And there's a big old chair there with some cushions. I want you to like pump the cushions up, flick off some of the dust. And there's a beautiful green candle on the table in front of you. I want you to light the green candle. I want you to place some beautiful crystals and ornaments on your table. So I want you to like imagine that you're setting up a bit of a beautiful spiritual altar in this room. So you might want to put crystals, you might want to put some flowers, you might want to put some essential oils. So I want you to set up a nice working altar. Okay, and when it feels nice, I want you to sit at the altar. Just get familiar. It might feel like there might be some oracle cards or some tarot cards there. I feel like some of you need to like pull some cards and lay them out on the altar, on the table. So what we're going to do is, I know some of you have pulled cards, but what we're going to do is we're going to ask your Akashic guide to bring, because we've set that really strong intention, to bring the information to you that is linked to this vow of poverty through deception and betrayal. So some of you might be pulling oracle cards and you'll be getting the information through these oracle cards. Some of you might pick up a crystal off the altar and you might be holding it and getting the downloads and the information and the memories. Some of you might, might want to imagine that you're turning on an iPad and you're watching something on the screen of the iPad. Some of you might want to look up and you see, this is how I sometimes see, is like these beautiful big theatre red curtains pull back from like the old cinema. And the curtains go back with the gold tassels, and then you see this old-fashioned movie screen, and then you can see all this imaging, all these stories playing out on the imaging screen. Some of you might be hearing things, so you might feel a presence around you, and they might be whispering into your ear and telling you stories of the past. Or some of you might just be sitting there with your hand on your tummy and one hand on your heart, and you might be just really feeling into the body and really sensing and having this deep knowing of what happened in the past that is linking to this vow of poverty that is entangled with deception and betrayal. So we're going to ask, Divine Source, and for the highest good of all, we now request to know, see, sense, feel, listen with my whole being as you show me this lifetime of the vow of poverty. Now, we're going to be shown it in the most loving, gentle, easy way through the law of truth. Thank you. It's done, it's done, it's done. Show me. So however you want to get this information, we're not going to relive it. We're just going to sit on the sidelines being aware. So what lifetime are you in? What are you sensing? What are you seeing? How many lifetimes ago was it? Just wait for a number to come up. Who were you? Male or female? What sort of age are you? Where are you? What country? What age did you take that vow of poverty? Did you take more than one at that age, in that lifetime? How many vows of poverty did you take? And why did you take it? And what were you told the reason to take it? Because they were telling you that you took it because it was a better outcome for you. What was the golden carrot? What were they dangling? And what is the, in this lifetime, by having that vow of poverty or vows of poverty in that lifetime, how's it playing out in this lifetime? Ask them to show you. So how is it affecting you spiritually? How is it affecting you emotionally? How is it affecting you mentally? And how is it affecting you physically? And ask for if there's anything else that's relevant that you're not seeing to be brought in front of you. So some of you are having this vow of poverty because it's actually keeping you safe. So what are you feeling that you need to be safe around? Okay, is there anything else that you need to understand? So the first thing we need to do is we need to call in forgiveness. So can we forgive, under the law of grace, can you forgive yourself and show compassion for you taking that vow in that lifetime? And can we send that part of you lots of unconditional love and show compassion and understanding? Especially if you took it at quite a young age. Okay, and with your permission, just need to say yes out loud. Can we revoke, discreate, release that vow? So we're going to say, in Source's name and for the highest good of all concerned, we request a divine healing and release that vow of poverty that is entangled with deception and betrayal. Can we release all vows, promises, agreements and declarations that have been holding you back from your soul's authentic truth, power, love and light? We wish for this to now be released through your whole energy body system, your whole body system, your auric field, or conscious levels, throughout all dimensions, matrices, time, space, layers of reality and beyond. Thank you for allowing us to find this vow of poverty that is linked to deception and betrayal. And we now wish to disconnect, alchemize, and safely release it. And for the highest good of all, we're going to send love, healing, and forgiveness to anyone involved in the creation of this vow. We're going to ensure all knowledge and information and wisdom is updated now and kept intact within this soul record. And just allow this beautiful, natural release of this vow. And if you're holding on to this vow to pay any karmic debt back, we ask through the Lords and Ladies of Karma that this lesson that is ready to be completed, let's complete this and repay that karmic debt under the law of grace. And let's revoke, delete, edit, release all trauma, pain, wounding programs, beliefs and agreements that are no longer serving your higher soul's path and purpose. And we ask now, through divine source, to retrieve, heal and purify and repair any aspects of your fragmented soul where any of these soul fragments have been broken because of this vow, this deception and this betrayal. And we ask for the void to be filled with unconditional love and light from divine source, and to restore trust and faith, and to cultivate a renewed sense of trust in yourself, the universe, and your ability to create a life of abundance. And that you're ready now to embrace your original blueprint, your birthright, and step into awareness of your inherent worthiness and claim your natural birthright of prosperity. Complete this divine healing by placing a beautiful ray of light and protection around your whole multidimensional being, so it can always cleanse and purify any non-beneficial energies, entities, thought forms, psychic attack. Thank you is done, is done, is done. And so it is. And we release it now. And we activate this healing to the power of 3. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Okay, so I want you to imagine that there's this beautiful green energy just above your head. And this green energy is a blessing from Archangel Raphael. And I want you to just breathe in that beautiful green light. The more you breathe in that beautiful green light, it's just starting to shift and change through your emotional body, your physical body, your mental body, your spiritual body. And however you want to see, sense, feel, know, listen with your whole being as this contract just comes out of you and it just starts to float away. And it moves its way over to that green candle and it just burns. And your Akashic guide comes over and invites you to blow the candle out. And your Akashic guide really just smiles at you and sort of acknowledges you, like, well done, well done. And I want you to just sit there for a moment and just see if there's any information that needs to just come to you either now or in the next sort of 24 hours. If there's anything that you need to be doing differently to embody this new trust and faith. And when you're ready, I'm just going to invite you to stand up from the table. And you're going to make your way to the door. You might want to just have another look round in your room as you step out of the door, and I want you to close the door behind you. And I want you to say out loud, I now close my Akashic Records. And then you're going to step onto that golden spiral staircase. And you're going to go all the way down, 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 down. And then you step into that beautiful portal of violet light, purple light. And you're going to start walking through that portal. And you can see your body just sitting there in the chair in front of you. And I want you to imagine that you're stepping back into your body now. Okay, and I want you to start to come round now. I want you to rub your feet on the ground. I want you to pat your legs down. I want you to open your eyes, take some big breaths. I want you to take a nice big stretch. I want you to look at the camera. And I'm going to show you, you're going to do an energy break. So, right hand behind, like that, right hand there. Left hand in front. So we're doing that. So thumb up, thumb down. Okay, and you're going to rub your hands together. Lots of rubbing. And then you're going to go 1, 2, 3. You might want to do it again. 1, 2, 3, and do it again. So you're just disconnecting from me. Okay. And you're just disconnecting altogether. Okay. And let me know how you feel. If anybody wants to share anything in the chat, I'll be here just another 5 minutes. And that was done. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. All gone. All dissolved. Morning, Leanne. How are you? Have I got anyone from Melbourne here? I know I've got Wendy. Who else is Melbourne? Sarah, are you? Sarah Vincent. I think you're Melbourne as well. I'm thinking, planning that I'll be back in Melbourne at the end of November. Okay, Julia's Melbourne. Yeah, I did see you put the hashtag in there. But anyone in Melbourne? Yeah, you're Melbourne. Okay, Wendy, Julia. I'm thinking of coming to Melbourne at the end of November. And I'm just seeing who would like to do a Women's Day retreat. So like what I've just done in Brisbane, I sort of had the inkling that I would run another one in Melbourne. And I'm looking at the end of November. So who would be interested in me running a Women's Day retreat? Sort of awakening the goddess. So bringing it down to Melbourne. So Kylie's put, I've had a poverty vow in this lifetime when I lived with faithists and had to give away possessions, etc. Also, I recognise blockages linked to having money means suffering, work and sickness. Yeah. There's a real impact, a lot when I do a lot around money is I can have this if I can only have this, but I can't have that. I can have this, but I can have that. And a lot of it is money and love, money and health. Those are the two ones that I see play out. And that's where you see a lot of people work for the money and then they get burnt out and they get sick. That's that program. Or I can only have money, but my relationship and my marriage falls apart. Or I can have my marriage, but I can't have money. I can't have the business and the relationship. I can't have the loving relationship and a healthy business. It's this, I can only have one or the other. Yeah. It's exactly the same as what I've just done for Brisbane. So it's on my website and it's Day with Claire. A Day with Claire. Kylie, are you Melbourne? So just put hashtag Melbourne if you want the details for the day retreat. Just to let you know, there's only 5 places. I'm keeping it very small and intimate. It worked really well on Sunday. It was absolutely beautiful. It's not going to be. Oh, you're north of Brisbane. Okay, Kylie, I'm probably going to run another one before Christmas here. Because I think they're going to be really popular, and it's five places. That's it. So it's first in, best dressed. If I have time to run 2 down in Melbourne, I'll run 2. But yes, it's going to be intimate. And on Sunday's one that I did on Sunday, you actually had 3 beautiful healings throughout that day. So it's 3 healings. It's lunch. It's connection. It's being held. You know, Shani was there. Sarah was there. Charlie was there. That are on the call now. So I haven't asked them for any testimonials, but they will. They loved it. So you enjoyed that, yeah. You know, clearing heavy stuff doesn't have to be hard. You know, as long as you set the intention first. As long as you set the intention first. So I'm going to call it a day. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. This will come down and it will go up on my YouTube channel, so you can listen to this at any time. And there's obviously other healings complimentary on my YouTube channel. But yes, if you would like to come along to the Melbourne Day with Claire, and if you would like me to run another one in Brisbane, can you just put hashtag Brisbane in the comments so I know I can keep track, and hashtag Melbourne in the comments and I can keep track. But yeah, it's literally 5 tickets, 5 places, and that's it. Then you'll have to wait for the next one. So thank you very much. I will be back next Monday for cards of the week, guidance cards. I'm doing a bit of teaching around that as well. So it was very fun and interactive for the last 2 Mondays. So I'll be back Monday for that, and next Wednesday for the weekly healing. So sending you a beautiful week. Keep an eye out, okay, to see what your patterns now this deception and betrayal, poverty has gone. Just be aware. That journaling is always good for that. Just be aware of what shifts and changes are going to be happening for you. So having an awesome rest of the week, and I will speak to you very soon. Take care for now. Bye, my loves.